but sensem bebre enu ti na ne adwom no a de bi aya metabo adisase no me jamana sede bo na makwa kire ma sanseda na bo me pese odo wasunya botre na utemi mo bibiara chimchire bibia nso menim se nemmemre for by this time here ye ka say there I know say ba bia akoye bia na pen ko show bia ni etie bi ni nyina wako aba kama sa na abofra nso de wo ye bia twinkyɛnse si nyama wo prapra de mo ye bribia e de boa wo fo ana sempo enipa wo ne tie asa abrei wo ye ni nyina kama ama che say wo te radio no saso na mpese wo ka che onua bi no ka che bi no bi so ka che bi say Amoawisi juma di 104.7 Opemsuo radio ya sase live on Facebook obetimi akọ no wa share na wonua bi wo te wa no te hwe no ono so ehu sede abrabo no esi kosano daachi obekasa ewade mede wase na se obo mu asoso a ode aseda ama asanteman chika asanteman esa te de me kanase bisa nyono a enka embeto afidie so ma wonso untie bi ma wohudi ekoso na wohu sede sabi ebubebe bobo bra yenom yafam yabedu babie enti se sabi ye kabiri bi achewa wa abofra na wafabi na de bi atotin ye twa ho abaye ba the full speed ayede kose enne emofra no I am crying me do bibia se me de say du mitina nka mesu bui egi esense assembly ya to ye na to ye na se hu susu dia enya ni ebesu ache awrade wi a na nanano nyemo bo sanse de koso no ano de mpai ye ba na basro no mi subuabu nkekam mi dia awohom sia pini wo mofra ebinum a ne eba sasi so na ema homte na medwa me hu ba bi ntwa na eyesan kra ye mo se enye se sabi me ye tribalism wan dia bi kane fantini ba aminim sem fantifo they are straight fantini ba wọ́n ntumi nyina baabi nkasantia panimu asabi obroso tumi nia meni wọ́n watena kakra mahunu wajase dem no watena kakra rosimete metuwe ntumi twime ko ayo mu a odo nsakase na adesra hu pani krawo fantini na teteme wajase and these children omwatiagu social media and so and what they are doing and saying tell the biara enti omma menimo wana anomba panimo omujuru omudati ana omujuru di omubenya ese me followers me will say na secondary school nkola mapo every school every secondary school me secondary school from Genesis we don't get unu baby out the life is quarter unu baby ara quarter and what we see now we social media chefu si wanim e ka kira wo fo se omunyina ye sense ba mo ba no sabi abu majom ko ma ya de ka for yourself pa ne mom ma me bi so are pa mo sese munim na mo de sa ekomukuma omo so they go kill you them samatda monte ya enya mo ko TikTok why na mo ko so obi ama be yima no adan kola ye badia samoa adia no mo hunu enti bia no obitually ni acho what a shock ni acho go to soon ni acho oh my god ni nyina ne sese adia mu ye nyina mani etuade mo ye na mo ye na wo resource kwa my resource no my emie mu sese bi wanya 1 wanya 2 wanya 3 na sa dwin wo tim wan ka senya me ayaduma ye fu adi aye ben ye be ye bribi aserade munyam ya ye bribi asebusane munyam o manya munyam na kane tetefo enso sade o mu ye tete a hokoye no ya ye bia kai o mu nsampa so obi ni ho a obi so etimi ho da bi da aje wo mutim no so you go sack them no problem man for some mama sonte say bi enwanti wo a betetonton a ka che mu pray ndi say dey ni ntom beto don't worry omu twamo pu no mbe dimu djuma ampaso ma me ba ko de me hwe na ni se de osika sana si minute enti resistance sa unim se wa bra boru be so be ko si hwe kasa no mo kan boss na ma no du se me bie ma no na ma kantina me twa ba ko pe no tina ma fan ba ko pe no what is wrong with you children of the days, what is wrong with you? Na mo na no say mo mrantie wenum awurade fa me boni ntame me kasa man kasa ya na no fa ntame what me gira bonten akasa dia munnu ne na ase makasa tia no immediately mu ye mabuko to just mpacha how dare you How dare you? Mesa na me jawa kapesi se matum. Mesim so. Sabi bere asa minu dia mabede ebedu se me nipa mu yi anoda. Me nipa mu yi anoda. Na dia na oti ya so beka bie. Mafa mu hye na sabie. So fie be ye kwa ntimi anya ohia. Tie asase no owura. Ti ade amoye no munya careful na dachi mo be say manu mo buto manu. Now we have to take an action. Because that age is not the unison of Omunya Shi so. Omunya Shi. Near a say about Mofano, about Cassa. Or Mufuano, Madam Kikasebo. Monso Mwate, Monso Mofan. Now Montreal. Now that's it, and son and a penny about a Shana Michel program good so. They were twins. And Omono papa and Bakuna and Solution the Bakuna and Solution what first good wabra boning in Abbey and Hobo. The end Okoye Amboba. Now failing near Bakuna by a law. No, yeah, Lord Indian. May say in court when defending Indian or Canadian it is himself. I know my sister can do it. Mommy and Satra. Mommy and Satra, and we are so about 2 years. Young Vancouver, Mommy and Satra. Anti sad that thing. Una nabi a woni mo hwe papa bi oni hwe wo fa bi oni mi hwe hwe woni nim se wo bible mu de da ho bible mu nyin se woni de da ho di wajane wonnani na won kwanna awar wasasi so if the bible is not lying then no mo wadi nyina mu pani nyina no you will pay for it.
Ensha say mami ne ye fi menhia empanyufo nkasa kakra.
Okay.
Ye be stress si social media no ye twi mutan discipline emma ho nti mesre menhia mpanyimfo se omonte committee bia wa obefa social media so akasa tia ohini bia no sa committee no yanhwehwe woni enso ye ni dwuma because madam I say if you ha ayedi ama amanfo de fie ha etwitwi from too much sebi ye won kwasiafo bit a meka ho e ofia o se kase ye kase empanyifo ma ye kwan say ye nkohwehwe omo mu sa
na unwe say
devotedly me I'll join that
unwe say because me should join unwe say
the omo ye na am said anodin e wo se ye nya na poma sibre e wo se ye nya na poma sibre sa totofiwa bia sore a because our phone because our data
anya totofiwa
our camera
mo fa ntame oni dibi mo bro wo
kasa tie yewura enti ye besre menhia himfie se mo de mo organize boys be kwasiafo be 10 me ka ho I've availed myself because madam intimi tonko so saa se o to phone na yewura na wo de neighbor phone what be that
wonu nyewudu.
Why should this continue? So also camera edi obebo e ready and all body nso a enema ensem fata and all the fefe di no enti empanyfo mu tie me ye be sre because ye hu say discipline etimi ma social media no so obia ye na dwene say a man of himself anytime obenya data gu ne phone so bia no osusu say also to be Canadian chere Ghana mpanyimfo also to be Canadian chere yewura that trend has to come to an end and what say etimi atwa it's moving forward wa dwene ne say menhia ye din ti no me so fun bia yewura na me kono so akoye ne hu fi akoka ensam a emfata afa ne ho no yenso ye be fa ye ho adwene because etimi tonko so so umu yewura ye bibia no ye nyankopon ye som no nti ye betre menhia empanyimfo ye ntu sa na mo no na ye mputu an end to sade no wo se emayo ane se omo ba fie na omo ba beje awofo
ai go saka
omo part we dey enye news o
oh say di bi omo ye
enye news
e bi omo ye
but the mesre Ghana empanyimfo say media foreign media outlets na oko France omo age cuts you age bi ho a unyanya untimi en open an account on social media untimi nie TikTok handle. Untimi nye YouTube handle. Untimi nye Facebook handle. Because nobody be demanded any age na be bo ashemu no.
I think say ebimu de omo ma Ghana cards.
You know,
register
you can't do that elsewhere, Europe. And then I say, what is the essence of the Ghana card? Inti media misusu say you were so many lapses our your communication sector. Minister of Communication on Kano. France memoir. Last month and omo pass a law. Omo age cuts. Age be over union drew ya. Untimi enya social media handle. Ghana panyinfo omo enko dem na omo nko dwene ho say yebetimi aduru sa level no. Dey know what I say? Because I may say discipline ain't me massa sector ho. Obekaya na no omampanyin ekohia ensentrefo no. Oka sa asem no. O see a free time na o kasa na ekọ no. Wa wo de o handle ebeka ensam a emfata no. Because of your IU number, phones, any social media, there is a bureau yati under national security. They will come after you. A step, mo person will control social media. No. Another step, so I made it to a say, or more consider age cuts. And your age beyond access to social media.
Oh, age becomes empowered. Age because empa.
Didn't you make say, mommy, you're part of your world. You're part of your world, which is Africa, Ghana.
And you teacher for the diaba.
Yeah, come here, boys.
You don't go see a day, ever full so. We were all training schools out with Chakra another. And so Nadia, Sabi, a bit more quadranti. Oh, yeah, I know, natural. I didn't say, cause such a na fine S will be S. Jan, Yendini. Yet then, walk of S. It is the phone you could tell what they are so much idea. Bra, enu ye keso. Enu ye keso. Fune kwa nye ke papa chicha machi.
Yeah,
I want to say. Chicha stroke suffer. Ibi abokodi.
Nyamiadum.
Yo, de yamese. Meni nya be me kan social media. Na ata media be sin ko ne ka say the ori beto ho no enko ba bia. A time will come sabi ebetimi ayi ho adi. Affect you. Because metesa ka bi say ebi mo ba na yes investigation ebi ana obetu kwan bi ana minim so be se wabra bo no so ho ade amintimi nche but ebi abetu kwan bi abibi na asie e wo so onya papers bi e wo say ye wo see a trace ko wachi
sa
e ko ready wo ye chicha onyi ni se phone am because na omu nkura phone na asem bi ama yo omu nkura phone di ko school na asem bi ama sabi oni phone a di ko school a enkanya de bebare me tibe ya make us wafumi ne baba na workshop ebi na ka baako on Monday no we but because full kura no me nya ketwa no e posti o papa yi na Sunday at night eno huye aka na yi baako Sunday night and akra no e huye so I have to go there and ajono go and pick up because you see there no yebo dom hodo. Because papa nene be din komo no ko ya wa mai so then because of social media, because of munkuta phone na munfa nsua de e wo school, is it the only thing you people can do? Mo paper mo chow a teacher for
yo mama fa say ma menchia atiefo ya say eske mechia atiefo nyina na u say sisia no ade na ye kire wo school no ye free bibi ti say child centered u say emre bi na etwa mu na say
Opemsuo 4.7 FM
enkwara de omo de ne say omo te ho so ho na teacher kasasa no kire wa de na wo kiro na nu ne ye hu ni say emwa emomo input into practice so lecturing no
me otu ya me meten lecturing now mutu ya metu sabi ye wo abofra ni enifun ye ntu abofra fo
anti wo me ka be see
teacher me pento ko ye wo abofra ye enifun ni etu abofra fo na asami so no ni nyina ni metiem nduka dem say no na ntimi hu say
mama party
how de kasa
say be say
how de enko
phone na abasa nkura no eyusu no akwa bi su no eye ejina wo se beya se you say you ejina wo nipa student na wo use
you say mbato teacher for no bi mbato mabon na mbato umsem
enye say abon because ti o
research no
modern nyema na ni say internet na ba no you say phone no a textbook kura ye kan no obetimi ama wo code bi obetimi the phone no ascan wo textbook no mu na eyi se bia mfa se bia se Ghana independence one asem no ka o de oscar ne obetimi ayi a kirewa ma wahwe enti phone no de se kan nkwada no ebe yusu afa na adisua kwan so de a enka ebeboa so ohun na sa ateni na sese no omude di atam ne niam abasabasa no eno no na enye because eba na enwuma suo mu a da biara nyese wo osuani ne woti ho ne ye ka bibi kirew aya ye pese wo nsoso no ne bia yetimi kra ka se ko ne koye nhwehwemu we bra ko ne koye ebi kra obi interview ne fa information bra so ho ti aya ye pese nkola no nsoso eye bibi omo nsoso eye bibi fa ade na osua no ho de nti eye ne sa na say nim say ba sa na mane kanitrim and put two into practice nsoso na said atemdidi abai no ani hwe hin na ni nyina no ya na efrufri o say tro ne say tre abofra no kwan a
onfa so na
wan fru so ho enti dey say asuafo no hye no so no say sa mobile phone yi ubetimi dia ye afa addition ubetimi abo wo kwan bebre so ho enti anu no na yeso omudo omani hwe ho no mu nsa ho se ewiase ye fra bibi se testimonials and as a recommendation obreya egbe obi signature pe ubetimi ko school asua de bibia obi panimu bi dibra owo ne signature pe ebetimi abra obi bia ase so ho eno na na yesa school for no ehye no so no because esi ano social media ya be ya o cassette ampani for panimu ti ba bi wo hwe this man say bia wo 15 16 17 who feel say we are okay we did panimu for access so ho Ghana ha we institution bia na say even say ya be to aba na bi wo position bia na we say ya more forms na yesa wo ko be bia ko panimu for be say ensign ma ko panimu we say ensign ma na say we student ya wo wa say di impanyefo atami na omo so no mu di brebi na signature na be kire so ababa no bako wanim ana so wo bako wachi no na okoya na say wo bai so enti ya pese nkwala na say omu hu say ya wo ya betu impanyefo impanyefo no na etutu ya na mo ayede esiye yesi di buo ni ani die soronko ede ma mpanifo yi
abe nshira klase fani no
di una ni waja ni na wonpa ana wo asasi so Exodus 20 ho di waja ni wona ni na wonkwa na awa ana waja ni wona no so so ye
ten so ne won wo se obasabi kwasi ama ne ja enije no ba obanyansa fo ma ne enije obakwasi ade sabi ma ne na reho this action
eti nkola no sabi ye hu se wiase na ye wo no mfanyifu ogum ye beto ye ena wo ya kwada abofra so de enye dia obohia fanyimu ede emwa na ha mo nhwe adefefa mfanyifu eye maye panimu bi da no adwene mofra bi ho se mofra kra tibi tua no school fees ni ye pekwan ye fa so aibede ebebua mo so unya ba wisi kakra bi sesia pa na panyia ono odwen odache ho Opemsuo san kasa etia no eba sa enye na nkola na mo yesa ni o mu se asotwe ede eda ho asotwe na eda ho no benya bi ewo asasi so asana wo kosoro so a eno so ayede esoro de eno so akotwen wo ho so eti nkola no enhwe niema yi pa na phone no yemfa ensua de yemfa nye ade a emfa so yede ewo so na yinja ise yede eye ensemhunu no because ade bi wo ho a ewo textbook me ye be kire but se wokɔ phone so na bia wokɔ hwɛ de ko da bia ho videos ne ho pictures bi any additional information bi a wɔde bɛka ho no ni nyina na ɛboa eti no akora no ehwɛ ye pa
boss adudu makoma asiminya abotre nanka medium ban me bano me kan de bia bɔkɔ na me de fo me love me yede me da wanti ne kese ati afaso ana sabi une wan wakasa ati akyea me mu na yenso yentimi ma akyea me mu adwuma tino ye mofra no na yeni ewo nso yenhwɛ na ye huru ambofra bi ono so but wahwɛ ama me abofra no de owo ho na ono so kasa na oka asema wote se abofra ne kan sabi buru nyansa eni nimde ewu sabi nya abofra bia na yesa asade teacher ka no efifie me benana bi o say ama charity wo ofifie no oba charity begins at home no kan sa no charity fifie as charity ne dia so ma sabi se obebu adi o mu adi o ifie bi o wa there are characters a unya wo hoda o ti ase there are characters a unya wo se fie we die di fie we die if you wait there ntika ne ntina na ye boy na nanum din ehe na ofre no abo na nanum din na chese eno na eye adwuma pa wan wasmesi ba no wampa na chi ni bia na de wo bo wan wasmesi ba no na ono so achim no pa na sabi oheba bifufuro. We care about your futures. We do care about your futures. Papa safuzi nyamisha, we care about your futures. Fi say money dachi mo ena wandi odibesisi ya na mochi na se ankono sede ye penwa enye o maame no papa nko na wo so de ni die mana na obuna na wo sesei me maame ne papa na aka wi but apart from maame no papa their biological teachers ewo asofo ewo na class of me kan so ya me di ehu nyina ye nyina di ehu anji mpacho na de to e da si enti abofra yi so na futusem
Nieme say nipa life, no one should I need it. Nieme say nipa diam, should I need expenses, sir? A petition, the residue baby. Or else, two residue baby. We cocaine, baby. Do you mean the sound say? Nieme come nipa diam, I don't want to go see you. So the boy say, "Near master, wow, we say, dear with him, young come up, brother, the woman." The boy say,
Obisa, I was said the browse he can.
Mommy, yeah, emphasizes we social media content. This powerful message out there, brain. It came through social media. Definitely, our TikTok app.
Yeah.
If you hear the voice, you hear the age, or you crack it twice. But the words coming from voice now, na born. Sabi ye won penifo bebre sabi omunim se niama ese ye video me bonye den. I don't know how you got that idea. Se niama ese ye body ne bonye den. And it's true.
So some say ko bi nyansan bi se ready, and this is wisdom.
This is wisdom.
A gift. O se ne bonye den apatesi 3 CDs.
And it's true. Ukra 5 CDs are.
And easy say you become a doctor or nurse or lawyer, or it's not easy.
Because I want to say,
but
physics textbook back what to say. Physics textbook.
Yes, easy.
Physics textbook back. Teacher ni. Say me ha many.
Teacher back your casa. Saying.
Opemsuo 104.7 FM.
200. Okay, I put to see 30 CDs. 3 CDs.
And today you for physics textbook. And then I put to see. But what the no you know.
Small 200.
You funny say you would you percent yet me at least low margin. So only the bottle get one po ya akoswa 20 CDs. Say do baby madam here. Do a stream.
Antombi.
Okay, ebia.
The person who use phone no. Edigina wo ye sabi nsempa. It's the teacher king.
Say the voice ya boy. Social media content. Enti ages tesa. But you use social media. But you can use it through this.
The papa.
And some a hinta sebi mpanyufo because voice ya boy me na hinta me. Na me nim se niama ese ye ready no. Ne bonye den.
Aka kire wo.
Nti say you know. Obi enam social media so. Ma metimi aka say per the voice ya boy. Me say only across more than 10 years. But what coming answer someone since my child adulthood till this time. No meaning. It's the air can you say the air bash ya condemn or more when you social media you know. Yes, I'm more about you so abaso. So who say social media no obet media faso e dia ka ensem saa emu odu e dia kire wiase ene Ghana man. Inti said ye ka no nyansa de
e kire wade baako o ya bofra mienu o ya bofra miensa na wo se de wo ye na da so ya e so oteso at least e betimi a no wonjai akura be so ma we de jisen kakra o okasi mani nyese bia say at as sebi or smoky kakra ya me na kan am say what do you get from this man said you said any son ka chen and I'm say I say when you should know such rantem at ka chen me say me nim dem no mu yenti I say at your age unim benefit wo wi so yes look at and I say be need so Charlie when you take am no you be cool I'm say sir you be cool when you take am we should be any fee but there be a next time it no go be cool. But the best
beyond in the blood group,
of course.
Any of fat reaction now.
Be a phone. Ni a be skin as a son. Ni be a nim ayaway. Is that the life you want to live? To me, kind of say, what do you gain? I don't want to mean she had say it's not that way, but it just be a basso. Listen, be a basso be like me crowns and say you so word we do. So it's no na nye bia na say sabi onimnia oyo and then shene nim de me bo mani na ni su for say me fa ni su me bra so me catch we dey say o kan dey say time kakra ibijai
hello ole me fa we ka ho u say sikape ese boni nyina hini ne sikape
say no dey
say no sa social media na ewo ho no akoya bibi ti se uye bibi na se nipa dodo na tie uni ade a I think say I wo ska bi am say no dollars bi a yetu amount
ska zan go that ade be damage life eno think about money
yen ka say kan ensema hu hia nkwa ni ntwa o every content you publish na se nipa ha no mo enya ayi
na dem ka say motivate and plan bi ya na say who say yeah ha no so wahwa say asem no koya asem bi a
e positive
e betu full nya de na
amun shada mo
nipa so it is koya asem bi ti say atemdidie asem bi a nya nwini nsusu say obi be ka na ka bo hu ko heavies but say o ya kwada na say o wa je say bi a views ne ya wo painting no o be di mpanyfo atema no obusa ho say no obusa ho say ka unya wiase edapade nyina wo hwere
wani munyamu a okra
anfa so be na wo so
yentie obi so de nyansa ni bi no aba ibiti
Form 3 for seminary school. Mom pebe no boys no form 3 boys. And this campus na we need semester obenya gedi. Just make a ubenya gedi. Star only girls pastor ubenya gedi. Star wonanto campus ubenya gedi. Star usre ubenya gedi. Awa ba class obi chia tare miss me girl bit baby ana wa for
Patere de wa ma mera ho me ho pa o we gina che say ye generation na yesusu say ye de online be show
sala bechu atade su benya ge style be kasa oba ho benya ge ana wante
miti style de nanti be work class
benya girl ati ase mo amon pebre na mabafie no mabeto mo na school die wo ho no style be si aben kura no benya
no fata do no asema me be kan ebia na amanfo no menye adwene but I think say it was say free SHS ni twam kra no make good use of the free SHS because
what's the use na members and kamesa bo
time na you tua no
we tie ye ma no
I think so that's a comportment who but you say you know there
sure
of course when you compare that time ni this time mommy say comportment in school mu kra o because this is the secondary students omo issues about out now what the young fan say asema mami kan ye no kre say wo sha won pa bo obinya ge wata okasa be ka be ma oge na dia na wo ye nso a be ma wo
onya mami o
abai we mommy na dia na oye a be ma wo
excellent academic
dia na wo ye a e betimi elevate you say de be ya wo betimi anya one of the best universities in the country also no dia wan kan na mum uchi wata de so a obinya girl enti mommy wo pe say
walk well we Tija, ya mo school no.
Na enti we no na eche ese.
Emu ye no.
We no na eche ese guidance and counseling na ewo school ahodo mu no. Ye ma ye ni ekọ sa social media sense. We say enkwada de fine obu o wa na ni da hopa obeye but
ka we oba beji ne results no beba nanka bibi go chiri.
We say so at
omunya be sonya
at omo level say no so oye bibia I know feel so you're right.
Yeah, sure. Then you want to tell me say
right.
You don't teach them anything. If this is what you are saying or ye bibi officer you're right. Any na kasa ye any mpacho any kasa ye kasa chere ni the teachers mo dey man no. Any na ye mfa mo no. Say ye mfa mo no because wo be so ka dem say because ye akwa ni start ye change the kasa. Ya change the sinante. Ya change kwa faso mposa bi edwade ye. Ya change kwa be faso bedidi. Because I be kitwa bi na dey say that be ye ni bisa. Inti ma chiro fu mo frase to this age of 13 14 years. 15 years. That's what Sanka Chem say what you are thinking. They said you we any there.
Send your especially we drew adolescent stage one. I want say we say bia wo be say 7 8 9 10 hona. We say what mama says. We human development na bachelor. E do stage na nkwala no parents referent me mama say we say ya won say me papa say me teacher say enti onyini ko na nim no na afi de na adwene na do stage bi say okay they say no say bibi ni na ekoso a
me nso me say
me metimi adwen ho
na maye de also me
se mu ahu say okay enye da bia na aye say ekoye me mama say me papa say
sa na omotie
we say adolescent stage no challenge ba ko a ewo ho no
mate
na say edu sa stage na na guidance and counseling na there ehun abehia because akwada no edu sa stage na I say he or she is always right ovunu say ana at say na wo ga say obi say sabio we close e was also dey ku faso dey enti omo no adwen no but enye papa but ekwan be no akwala na be fa so obeti ne ho ase say onye stage a owetimi ahwe no ho so enti se na be say schools guidance and counseling na ewo ho no yemma yani enkosa social media sense na even schools ankasa yankasa fa ho positive ways ekwan papa so e be fa so e betimi ide use social media no
into that currency wona emeka week no na buku so e de chom kra dos
sorry no so ko asore bi e ko
a asore wo eno said that here bi no agi youth one youth there youth man
betimi organize program bi na
one organize obeboka misraw
positive
wo
idea e was social media no so so ho nti
ombeboka because oko invite nipa na wabekasa no obedi niska omo dwene wenu nya ho nkola nde beto ho nko omo nye minima sorry bia nkola ncho proposal let us omo de omo nye me say yes obi say Mr. Fuzi team
but Seban is also sorry no one mandate as sorry omo ignite was it say you dey enkwala ko sorry at early stages
we be sure bribi
the religion
go sorry them we munyina go sorry them ebi we singers I know them ebi we prayer towers ebi mu
brother me say Professor Asante the hema ayo obe preach here and I'm be now radio so kasa efa nchechre de man kwala wo school mu ni adad no and o kasa say no this year Sunday school teachers now more ni ade no they say Bible stories and I say mfo na mo share current issues
Bramba cho minim Sunday school teacher bi o date Sunday school akwala na misu no mu no eswani nsa o ka kire o date akwala no na akwala no bo mama na ese ma hante me na mfre na mzi o yeni mayi wadi do afri nyam so me ma won kira de ne o kyena ne o kyenchi mayi ni di o ti obega se am we di so nyam antim nyam we
sa aso den kitengiti we na aba emofra no so enu ti na won say dey school placements ya ye se bia akwala no teacher for ahwe no modern bo na wo for ahwe no modern bo hu say bia wo o modern bo no program we na wo be ye ubetimi ayede aye and suppose say aso den any as he is always right no
no no akoya de no e ba no ko fom
e ba ni say na say obudidi nkobo school a okwa brana opese obono obetimi abono yen class schools ni bi o ha omombo nkra no man but you say the nafofo chunk of the nafofo echusu ha ono ni so one of so choose na choose same subject no that subject ni bi me ba bi so okoye science
say na man hwe so a say bia also opese okoye biological science e bia nusa
35
so single number no 7 is
but you be 35 also coincidence we count there were video be na be say hwe kakra bi na ye conclude this seven progress obi a na adwin han kakra na one ne ba abaya ba chonyi kan na wo ye ho adwuma one ne ba abaya na atena na omotia den na meta adwene wo mu asabi mu fanchame omo so madwen ya adwuma tifie no mutimi eja woma na akra no enenam na ayebise bia nka no me compare to sabi mu fanchame de osena adwene no kan ye frɛ no bodamfo na ote kwa ho ba obetimi afa no otimi fa bode
ma part we nice topic na dia bano I don't know say obi adwene mu kam no wo a o different condition ya de man ba
ya no mu
na ba ko bi o jiran about on ne ma there was no single minute am fa ho a na hu say enkura no ene no very any close every time am fa obi a no enkura no ne no very close enso na adwene mu kam no inti say the mommy can no say ube conceive for 9 good months after 9 months in labor hono emu nkodo ye bebre what pass through this conditions in akwana ba be nipa e wo say o man just attention said ye be here dia opese oye no obetimi aye no na watu na jeje mu say madam okay even abodam for
enko sabi ya no to say but obi sha atade oboda no tifi ti ya no to sabi na kwan abofra no fast surviving in life na mpese hwe kakra bi bibia mu na bam ne mami situation mu na bam baby oda mu na bam edidi mu na bam even obi so no mu kura so be ya ma no oye do stage be nipa no two kwan still emuna bam otena classrooms ogina into kram na watie yeso adwen wo disturb here still emuna bam
12 years old, she had experienced more pain and hardship than most people do in a lifetime. Born and raised on the streets by a mentally ill mother, Shola had no father, no home, and no one to fight for her future. She spent only 2 years in school before dropping out because the one woman paying her fees disappeared. Hopeless, forgotten, yet incredibly smart. But one day, everything changed. She met Jessica, the daughter of a billionaire, studying in the best school money could buy, yet struggling to learn. And it was Shola, the barefoot girl from the gutter, who became her secret teacher. But when Jessica's powerful father discovered a homeless child teaching his daughter under a mango tree, what he did next will leave you speechless. So grab your popcorn, sit back, and get ready for one of the most powerful stories you've ever heard. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button to support more inspiring stories like this one. Dirty thing, I said leave here. A raw slap of spit landed just inches from Shola's bare feet. She didn't move. She'd grown used to the insults. The market woman's voice pierced the air again. Is this a rubbish ground? You and that mad woman better shift before I pour water in you. Shola tightened her grip on her mother, Abini, who sat barefoot beside the gutter, mumbling to herself and tracing patterns in the dust with one trembling finger. Her wrapper had fallen halfway, exposing scars and filth, but Abini didn't notice. She was lost in another world, one that only she could see. People walked past. Some slowed down. Some stared. One woman paused, shook her head, and kept walking. No one helped. No one ever did. Shola was 12 years old, but the streets had aged her soul. She didn't cry anymore when people called her names. Daughter of a mad woman. Gutter girl. Cursed child. She'd heard them all. What hurt more was the pity, the empty kind that came with a shake of the head and no hand of help. Her mother used to be beautiful, or so Shola imagined. On rare, lucid days, Abini would sing old Yoruba lullabies and call Shola princess. But those moments were like shooting stars, brief and gone before you could touch them. Most days, Abini couldn't even remember where she was. She'd scream at her reflection in puddles, throw stones at shadows, and run from imagined monsters. Shola had no father, not even a name, not even a photo. Who's my daddy? She'd once asked years ago. Abini had looked at her with hollow eyes and replied, I don't know. The rain. Maybe the rain. That was the end of that conversation. They slept under a broken kiosk near mile 12. If it rained, they got wet. If it was hot, they burned. Their mattress was a flattened carton. Their blanket was silence. Shola didn't even know what it meant to dream anymore. Survival was the only language she spoke. Each morning began the same way. Abini waking up screaming, clawing at the air. Shola would grab her, hold her close, whisper, It's me, Mommy. It's me. Then she'd gently clean her up, sometimes with just a rag and water from a gutter pipe, and lead her back to the same begging spot on the street. Her mother begged. Shola watched. That was their life. Occasionally people dropped coins. Mostly they dropped insults. Mommy, don't talk today, okay? Shola whispered that morning, tucking her mother's wrapper more tightly around her. Just sit. Just be quiet. But Abini suddenly stood and shouted at a passing car, Give me my wings! I left them in your boot! The driver honked and swerved. Shola felt her cheeks burn. She turned and met the eyes of a schoolgirl across the street, neatly dressed, holding a lunchbox. The girl stared for a moment, then quickly looked away, whispering to her friend and laughing. Shola looked down at her own legs, covered in dust, her toenails chipped, her hands dry. Her stomach grumbled, but she ignored it. Hunger was a constant companion. Still, beneath it all, she dreamed. She dreamed of sitting in a classroom, raising her hand to answer questions. She dreamed of wearing a uniform, writing in notebooks, reading books that weren't soaked in rainwater or torn at the edges. She dreamed of someone, anyone, calling her by name without scorn. But who would send the daughter of a mad woman to school? Who would care about a girl whose mother chased birds because she thought they were demons? Nobody. And yet, Shola still hoped. She watched children pass with their backpacks and neat braids, and she whispered to herself, one day she would sit in a real classroom, One day she would escape this cursed corner of Lagos. One day her mother would smile again and know her name. But as she reached into her bag to count the N10 note and the 3 coins they had gotten so far, she heard a hawker shout behind her, "Thunderfire poverty!" Shola didn't look back. She just held her mother tighter and whispered, "Amen." It started with a plate of jollof rice. Shola had been crouching beside her mother near a shoddy that afternoon, her stomach tying itself into knots from hunger. Her mother was having one of her silent days, just rocking back and forth like a broken record, her eyes unfocused, lips twitching. That's when Shola noticed a woman watching her from across the road. The woman stood behind a steaming food stand. Plastic chairs, a wooden table, 2 coolers, and the unmistakable scent of cooked rice and pepper soup. She was fair-skinned, full-bodied, and wore a simple Ankara gown. There was something in her gaze, something that wasn't pity. Shola looked away, embarrassed. She hated being watched like an animal in a zoo. Minutes later, the woman crossed the road and stood in front of her. "What's your name?" she asked gently. Shola stared at her bare feet, then whispered, "Shola." "Where's your mother's?" Shola pointed at the woman beside her, who was now singing to an empty bottle. The woman's eyes softened. "She's sick, isn't she?" Shola nodded. "What did you eat today?" Shola didn't answer. Instead of asking further, the woman held out a covered takeaway plate. "Here, eat." Shola hesitated. Strangers didn't give food without expecting something in return, something she wasn't willing to give. "Don't worry," the woman smiled. "I'm not like the others." That was the first time she met Auntie Linda. The food was hot, the rice sweet, the meat soft. Shola hadn't eaten meat in months. That same evening, Auntie Linda returned with bottled water and soap. "What's your story, child?" she asked as she helped Shola wash her hands. Shola told her everything. The madness, the market, the school she once peeped into, the hunger, the hope, the dreams. She didn't cry, but her voice cracked. Auntie Linda wiped her hands with a handkerchief. "Tomorrow come to my shop. You'll help me clean. In return, I'll feed you. Deal?" Shola nodded so hard her head almost fell off. The next day Shola came. She swept, she washed plates, she served customers, and she watched Auntie Linda carefully, how she smiled at people, how she ran her small business with quiet power. One afternoon, Shola sat under the counter, writing numbers in the sand with a stick. Auntie Linda leaned down and asked, "Where did you learn that?" Shola answered, "From watching the school near the express road. I memorized what the teacher said." The woman blinked. "You mean you never went to school?" "I did, once. For 3 weeks. Auntie Bisi paid, but she moved away." Auntie Linda was silent for a long time. The next week she returned with a gift, a brand new exercise book and a pack of pencils. The week after that, she went a step further. 3 weeks later, Shola stood inside a dusty public school classroom, her hands trembling, heart pounding. She wore a second-hand uniform that Auntie Linda had bought from a thrift market. It was too big, but it felt like a crown. "Behave yourself, oh," Auntie Linda said that morning as she let her in. "Make me proud. I don't have money to waste." Shola nodded quickly, holding the nylon bag with her new book like it was gold. The first day was strange. Children stared. Some giggled. But the moment the teacher asked a question and Shola answered before anyone else could raise a hand, everything changed. She was smart. Too smart. She answered questions older students couldn't. She memorized poems after hearing them once. She wrote with speed and precision. Even the headmistress asked one day, "Who trained this child?" Shola always said, "Auntie Linda." Every evening after class, she returned to the food stand to work. She cleaned, helped serve, and sometimes got to taste leftover soup or fruit. But her real reward was watching Auntie Linda nod in approval and say, "Good girl." It was the first time Shola felt seen, felt loved. Then just when life seemed like it was turning, everything changed. Auntie Linda came home one night holding a white envelope. "My sister in the UK finally processed my papers," she said, tears in her eyes. "After 7 years of waiting." Shola smiled. "So we're traveling?" The woman stopped smiling. "No, Shola, just me." The room grew quiet. Shola blinked. What about me? Auntie Linda sighed deeply. I paid for your school up to this term. Maybe God will send someone else to help you. I've done all I can. Shola stared at her plate. She wanted to scream, "Take me with you, please." But she only nodded. 3 weeks later, Auntie Linda was gone. No one told her goodbye. No one else came to pay the next term's fees. The headmistress called her one day and said, "We're sorry, Shola. Without fees, you can't remain." She stood outside the school gate for hours, clutching her bag, waiting for Auntie Linda to come back. She never did. She waited outside the school gate until the sun began to fall behind the buildings. Her uniform was dusty. Her book bag hugged her side. Flies buzzed near her ear, but she didn't move. Her eyes were fixed on the bend of the street where Auntie Linda had promised to return. But that bend remained empty. Shola's stomach rumbled. Her throat burned from the dust she'd swallowed all day. Children walked past in clusters, laughing, chasing each other, their parents waiting with snacks and hugs. No one came for her. Eventually the gateman walked up. "Little girl, it's time to go." Shola nodded slowly. She stood, dusted herself off, and walked away. But she didn't go home. Where was home, anyway? The broken kiosk she used to sleep in with her mother now had a new tenant, a drunk who threatened her with a belt the last time she tried to return there. The corner by the bakery where a beanie used to beg was now occupied by two boys who sniffed glue and fought anyone who looked at them wrong. The streets had changed while she was gone. The only thing that hadn't changed was her mother. Still mad, still barefoot, still talking to ghosts and demons in the air. When Shola found her by the gutter that night, her mother was trying to feed a dead pigeon with gari soaked in brown rainwater. "Mommy, it's me. Let's go somewhere safe," Shola whispered, but her mother only hissed and slapped her. Shola wiped the blood from her lip with the back of her hand and sat down beside her anyway. They spent the night curled on the pavement, surrounded by cigarette butts and mosquito bites. Her mother laughed in her sleep. Shola didn't sleep at all. The next morning, she wore her school uniform again. She tied her books in a black nylon and walked back to the school. She waited outside the gate. Maybe they would change their minds. Maybe someone would help her. But when the headmistress passed, she paused and frowned. "Why are you here again? I told you, no fees, no school." I'll pay. I will," Shola stammered. "How? You and that crazy woman don't even eat well." The words hit like a slap. Teachers passed. Parents stared. Shola's cheeks burned with shame. "Please, Ma, let me just sit at the back. I won't make noise." The woman shook her head. "Don't disgrace yourself. This is not charity. Leave." And that was it. The gates closed. Shola sat by the wall and cried into her book until the letters blurred. Days turned into weeks. She tried returning to the food stand, but it had a new owner now. Auntie Linda was gone for good. The new woman chased her off. She sold her last pair of decent sandals for N300 and used it to buy bread and garam. Her uniform faded into gray. Her exercise book got wet in the rain one night, and the ink ran until all her notes became unreadable. People stopped seeing her as that smart girl. Now she was just another street girl, just another shadow on the roadside. One evening, while trying to find somewhere dry to sleep, she saw a boy no older than 9 light a match and smoke something wrapped in paper. He looked at her and said, "Come join us. If it make you forget, say you hungry." She shook her head and walked away. Her hunger was loud, but her fear of becoming like those boys was louder. She still had one treasure left, her mind, and somehow she still believed that one day, just one day, it would all change. She couldn't help herself, no matter how many times they chased her away, insulted her, or mocked her. Shola kept going back. Every morning while other children were tying their shoelaces and tucking in crisp white shirts, Shola would find her way to the back fence of City Crest Academy, a private school that looked like a palace from her side of the world. The walls were painted gold. The windows had polished glass. The students wore blazers and sparkling shoes, their names stitched neatly onto their uniforms. She didn't belong there, not even close. But it didn't stop her. There was one window cracked open behind a classroom that had a small ledge she could stand on. It was next to an old mango tree where no one ever looked. That was her secret place, From there, she could see everything. The chalkboard, the math problems, the teacher explaining vowels. Shola would mouth the answers quietly to herself, clutching a broken pencil stub like it was sacred. Her notebook had long been destroyed by rain, so she wrote on scraps of paper she scavenged from garbage bins. Old flyers, tissue boxes, anything with a clean side. Each day she stayed until the bell rang. Then she'd vanish before someone spotted her. But one Monday she wasn't fast enough. The teacher noticed her, a ragged girl with bright eyes peeking from behind the window. "Hey, who's that?" the woman yelled. Shola froze. A student turned, pointed, and said with disgust, "It's that crazy girl again, the one who follows us." The class burst into laughter. The teacher stormed to the back and opened the door. "What do you want, Anne? Who sent you here?" Shola stammered. "I just want to learn. Please, just listen from outside. Are you mad? Do you think this is a public place?"
I am Yose. I just want to learn. I just want to learn. Your brain tea. Ebekasika krebina ede afa ho. You are brand to be my news afa mofra. Especially in school replacement. Abofra say na bamu windows will be a triani fees nani pakro anywhere. Sometimes nkwani bebre ba ku say or say ani maami ewu nti wa makwan wi school yi ohun de okufi akoya. I think say one will be in social media kroye oko ba akoko cemetery and then okusun sunyaya and say mom there when I mean certificate and bibi mfanche say we school meaning oni obi a but we are seeing sisa said the opposite koso abrabom sometimes ya make us gina wa also so we share the say unya determination spirit and then uko nimu adisuam especially wabrabono if it doesn't even end in the classrooms only. There's other things that you can do. So I'm afraid Udikai and Sana Mameno Crab Heron Udikai, Coklini, Mamena Jumam, Coher Sedi, or Nenko Foodin Sawoso, and Mamena Bonabasu, a Juma Dia Waye, and Son or Babi Tria, school fees, no, a diamond. It's a young tree, a man of we are a canus near into one for say. Life is not just like that as they see it. It be more fun, but ho. It doom pempens will be a untiminya worry. It is a kusia a buffer a pie a pie. It doom pempens will be a. There are in Juma be a who do I say one young yama we in ye not a Joan somewhere untiminya be. You can't wait for life. The better be a when you go, you move. Because I'm going me bano a free school no. Me no media offer me. Me knew we are me casa no be bring to offer me pa. Into me fan am the track nam ne panam say. Yes no out say father for say anti pacha and I'm say now by school I don't so we have a perfume. Or so be bring. Nam say omoni ni jina. O say I'm saying Omujai and I'm but Omuda Sukwa, Omutrezam, so Omuda Suba, Omutrezam, no meaning and a baby, and I'm say good. And I'm besides, oh, Papa, I do my bank, or born of a page, and I'm saying, actually, obey the unknown so born in, and I'm say, you say, Obama Buana, I said, there be, and I'm say, a child said, a slow Papa Brabo, Miss Rowan so dear. So the only thing I bet me for us to be happy, they say, you get a good results, you come out. Now I make up Papa who didn't want to proud, and then the family and also Ghana. But Tranaka Diwan Kasasakama Yedrufina Muso Serenam so good. I like this smile. Into your man for Sabra Bono left and right, a white and black. It shouldn't be like Menam Demahu, Menam Dema Brabo. Sabi said you can now for a bit me who dear obey. But Wabo Fran one we are because a basin in Abacambo more niso. We have I say we as a bit afena kakra botom oh jeans nice we dressing so we na baso be sha be we next kanyasa no ntimi afanya we teacher and also stroke suffer bese utu ya manfo
you ma fa medasi ti yebetu amofra na school fo nyina fo se ye hwe patriotic song anuma ya to say aduru me ne wo soso say ye beye bi atoaso so enti dedi kan we abofra nya o man ho do so nya o man ho do
a family first or
yeah yes say
so appreciate the busia our for ma chire do nya do e ma o mo but don't teach you ana
oh me our for en chire do chire mo frey na o mo so nhwe so na o mu nya sa do ni bi e ma won emai because wo do man a na wo be pese wo be sua de akọ anim na won so da chi bi ya baba udin say ebia Kofi Annan ebia president Kufuor president Mahama president Kufuor do minister we so say ye amofra no hu say da chi bia no man ba be hye won sa enti omba mo bre won ho ase na watutu won anamon asiye ama ho kwan ama mpanyufo atiti won mo dia omba do mpe bia because areas no you say the devil gives work to the idle hand what you wanna say butaye bia butaye bia si wani so unim direction bia wo pa ensem hunkwa na odi sabio so
no hu ni say ya so sensem no nti onu hu ni say ya obi e kwa na okubi frama bia bubo bia na odi akiri
enti amofra no yenya oman no hu do oman ya timi ya wa sofuo wom sabio da chi nyame wa dom na wo ware a na sofuo abeshira so ama fefefe so hu ya wa mampanyifo wom ya wa ahemfo wom ya wo enti da chi bi niemu say da chi bi na omo kono ye ya mo frey e na ye ba beto aso enti se no se ye ya mre ye ho ase an hye won no nkyere ase a ye be den na yetimi abe fa o mai ato aso enti se de nyuma na duro mi no susu se ye be bia de
ato aso kakra bo bonkofo bidina ye kura ifi ankofo ha ye demai kofo ha pa sisi akonkonsa adwuma se no an ye sofu ba ko o graph so no kala ne ba to say yes I different them o worry 11 years ni into one part advice o mra that am besom guys say their leaders are they are yen hu omo and yen shed them hu omo into you don't know them
sir
your secret advisor
yes
omunyuma omudi ne ni omo ye no eso ani
enti we o suani a mre bia no pe bibi si wani so pe bibi si wani so say okay direction say na me pesa me di my brabo no ele ekọ ne tu hu anamo me nyi ni say so direction say wo de wo didi atema na wo be nyina wo be didi atema I don't know I don't know nyeju
we ko to tre kwa we
say ya pe bibi ansi ani so say da chi bi yen so ba be doctor bi yen so ba be teacher bi yen so ba be ebia nurse bi software bi ana BBC na say nyame in the natural law nyame
eni kese
be dwadini kese a
okraji no mni ade nyina no
so and this say no sa emfa me ho anything goes abrabona aba enkola ni mu so mu eyi fi ho so na dimpa eyese ahonya na yema yenwoma suane ye dachi ho nsem de ehia
ye dase osidi mpa wo eye eti ahonya nokre pa at times character travels more than obedi sika be show and obi be hu say oni kro wo sika kra no you be almost come in papa to mo mi no but suban de travel papa
yes
ti e besra mo say we love you ya kan say mo be ni ama yensuso ye ni mabanyam especially wa busua any oman you can decide not because you go for they have decided not your asem but usi so na ye generation de ibinyanka odo abusua na wado oman because even in the Bible abusua is first inti besre yeni abema mrana ni suka krewo no onfa emre na afi yankweni
Mranimfo ball bonso akensi oman panyin ho kani Mamelodi na Mahamade tu jase nema pi na ekutia mofra awose wiase aman panyinfo hye woboa ma ye free ho said ye beya mofra nso Opemsuo enya won asumji enwoma suasua de tuja Opemsuo yenji sika ansa na ye de suku ni bi atonto aso suku bi mu enhyehyeye ne se busumi a edi animi na JHS for no be hye won nto aso suku ase owura baafo boni se obeye Chief Justice wo Ghana Council of State bedwene ho na se wogine tumu a Ghana mrahwebejafo no nso betoto na no ansa na wagina tum se obeye Chief Justice kan Asante Kotoko nso Opemsuo oko Nigeria wo kobo ball bo akensi pacho kasabona ni
yada se yeka ebi wa osi su kutu scan sana wakona ya pe school ni asampo di aman ayensem bibloko social media nya asem kitwa aje ho afa bi e kanede ebi mu wofu ebi mu se betan afita na pa asum betan afita na pa ebi mu se ebi na ebi die kra de obo wi na school no pa man ba na se kra de no school no de di kan a ofa ye no o se school a unya de di kan sa bium aje se omo ofoforo ntino mususuma mbunfu ai ba ku bi de ya na ma your interview so bani saying was 28 to 29 am say asadan kan rade ni nyina ye nemum no emfa ntokwa emfa nko ma oba no baabi enyina eno nya de a beboaye ye da omase o se yi Howard amofra ni so nyina afiri won so na amofra ni tenya asumdue asuade e haw bibre kwa mofra ne bre ebi dwene uma yihu omobona yinyi fi ho yi iti ayi mata na omta ekuntokwa nkora ni bi di omuntokwa kwa classroom ko tena ho dwene ho parents no mesre mo fra no me say ye domo ye bomo ni etimu ye wi a chesem se ni account ni do afam ye ho say abofra biara a wonye no me kirem simple no ati ase yes ana baba no ka me de ba me dim abofra ni nya atwe ba fa gua no wati wan fa ba na nwa no da achi abofra ndi aba no be gua o sa na tie se wan fa ba nwa na da achi ono di aba no o de be gua o intimi sre awfo se muntu ya na isi form na yin kele sa characters a ewra ye mem no na ewrade be hu ambo mama part me me baju na teacher say eski correct any ye bay na ne area mo sibremo listeners ye damas papa Facebook omo hwe na ye damas Mr. Fuseni nyami sha antimi ka bi mana ma sorry na menu abema de aka no aba beso